Hello everyone, my name is Martin Eguren and I am doing my primary degree here in Gasteiz. Before I start with my presentation, I would like to make a short introduction. As I will do the introduction today and I will record the presentation tomorrow, I will be looking different, maybe with shorter hair or other clothes, but I hope nobody puts any fault with it. I would like to say that this job has not been easy for me, since I have encountered some difficulties, like my level of English, my use of technology to put the videos together, the quality of the image of this computer. Even so, I believe that I have done a good job carrying out everything that the teacher of this subject demanded of me. But I also believe that I have a lot to improve. In short, I think I have given my all, and I hope you can enjoy and value my work. So let's go there. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Martin Eguren, and today I'm going to talk about foreign languages in the Basque educational system, and we will see concepts such as multilingualism and translanguaging. To situate you a bit, I will give you a brief summary of what I'm going to talk about next. We have the index here. First, I will talk a little about the current situation of languages in the Basque Country. Later, I will comment on what ESIBERI 2020 says about languages, the importance that each one should have, and the objectives that Basque Country has regarding them. Then I will talk about the two concepts mentioned above and that are directly linked to this topic, that are multilingualism and translingualism, delving into them and giving examples and interesting complementary information. And to finish, I will make a general conclusion and I will give my point of view of everything that has been discussed. Okay. In the Basque Country, the teaching of foreign languages is an important issue in the educational system. The objective is to promote linguistic competence in foreign languages in line with European objectives for language learning. On the one hand, Basque is the co-official language of the Basque Country, so its teaching and promotion is a priority in the educational system. Basque language teaching begins in preschool and continues through secondary education and university. On the other hand, in addition to Basque, Spanish is a fundamental language in the Basque educational system. Depending on the territory or the philosophy of the school, classes are taught in Spanish, with Basque being a compulsory subject. In addition to this challenge of the Basque school to guarantee bilingualism, its objective is to achievement of multilingual people, sufficient knowledge of at least one foreign language. The teaching of foreign language, such as English and French, is a priority in the Basque educational system. Foreign languages teaching begins in primary education and continues through secondary education and university. Foreign language teaching takes place at different proficiency levels, from basic to advanced level, and students can choose to take foreign languages courses as electives or as a part of exchange and mobility programs. Okay. ESIBERI 2020 says that the achievement of multilingual people, however, poses a great difficulty. It's not a question of acquiring 2 or 3 languages separately, but rather of developing a collection of languages that encompasses all linguistic competences. At this point, the linguistic diversity in a school context and the undeniable need for a multilingual education for all students force us to reflect and adjust the teaching methods so that the students apply what they have learned in one language to learn in other language. It's essential, therefore, to promote an integrated and comprehensive treatment of languages as an excellent path for reflection between them and their approach to real social uses. Making clear the situation of multilingualism in the Basque Country and guaranteeing the importance of the relationship between languages, it's essential to talk about two concepts closely related to this subject, that are multilingualism and translanguaging. Okay. Multilingualism refers to the use of multiple languages in a society, community, or individual. It can occur at different levels, from the use of multiple languages in an everyday setting to bilingualism and multilingual education. It's important to note that multilingualism is not limited to the individual ability to speak multiple languages, but also refers to the relationship between different languages in a society and how they are used and influence each other. The multilingual approach proposed by Senos and Gorner underlines the difference between a monolingual speaker and the multilingual speaker. The multilingual speaker has a broader linguistic repertoire, but does not use each of the languages for all communicative functions in all contexts. Depending on the social context and their interlocutors, the multilingual speaker navigates between languages and uses resources from one or more languages in different communicative situations. On the contrary, the monolingual speaker uses the same languages in all contexts and for all communicative functions. Despite this difference, the proficiency of multilingual speakers is often measured relative to native speakers, and multilingual are often considered limited or even deficient speakers. The multilingual speaker crosses borders between the languages of his repertoire. Okay. At this point, I would like to address the ideas of University of Toronto professor Jim Cummins, that we have here a video of YouTube that he is talking about this issue. And he says that if the teacher is not aware of the importance of language in multilingual learners, it could have a very negative effect on the students and in their willingness to participate academically. Instead of viewing students as multilingual learners who have a range of language achievements, we view students sometimes just as someone who needs help, someone who is deficient in the language of instruction. When we put students at that point, we run the risk of making those students doubt who they are, who they can be, and what they can achieve. A student whose language ability is not valued may end up thinking things like, I will never make it to high school, I will never graduate, or I'm not good enough to study. So when the teachers understand more about the crucial role and language learning play in the students, then they can look for ways to communicate to students that their multilingualism or their knowledge of this mother tongue is a major intellectual achievement. Okay, that being said, one of the most widely used concepts in research of multilingualism in education is translanguaging. That being said, one of the most widely used concepts in research on multilingualism in education is translanguaging. Translanguaging is a form of communication that goes beyond the limits of a single language. It's a dynamic and flexible process of mixing and fusing different languages and meaning systems to create new forms of communication. Translanguaging can be used by multilingual individuals, groups, and communities to communicate more effectively and express their cultural identity. Regarding pedagogical translanguaging, it is understood as planned by the teacher within the classroom so that multilingual students benefit from their entire linguistic repertoire. Pedagogical translanguaging softens the boundaries between languages and aims to develop multilingualism and multiliteracy. Translanguaging can be used as a tool to challenge language and cultural barriers and encourage creativity and innovation. It can also be used to express multiple and complex identities, especially in multilingual and migrant communities. To find a great example of the practice of translanguaging in the documents provided by the teacher of the subject. Okay, next to this table, there is another group working together. In this group, Noemi, who emigrated from Ecuador and whose literacy performance are more experienced in Spanish than in English, and James, an African-American student, are working together. James summarizes a piece of the reading in English, while Noemi listens and nods in understanding. Noemi asks us a question in Spanish, and Eddie, who is a more experienced bilingual, translates for her. James consults the English version of the textbook, and Noemi consults the Spanish version and they collaboratively reach an agreement that answers Noemi's question. In the challenge, James learns the word estereotipo, which he loves to repeat out loud, while Noemi adds the word stereotypy to her repertory. Noemi also notes that stereotypy is missing an E at the beginning of the word and tries out pronouncing in English with much group involvement. They return to the timeline. And in closing, I have to say that multilingualism and translanguaging can be challenging for existing education and language system, as they may require change in educational policy and practice. I would also like to admit that I would like to know and be fluent in other different languages and take advantages of the mentioned advantages. And I have never been good with languages apart from Euskera and Spanish. But I must say that after having done this work, my motivation to learn other languages has increased, and that I will fight to achieve those benefits of multilingualism and translanguaging. And here we have the material that I have used to carry out the work. This is all. Thank you very much.